Okay, so what made you guys want to start Coffee with the Masters?
Well, actually, I was working at Wells Fargo Bank. That's where I retired from. Harry came walking through there one day in Manteca, and we got to talking because we had met each other at a few different events. And then I ended up retiring, and I said, "Hey, Harry, you want to get together for coffee?" So it was just Harry and I to begin with, and then Harry said, I'm going to invite my friend David.
Yeah,
right?
David, yeah.
Okay.
And we also invited Mark Stoner, but Mark has to work, so. But every now and then he was coming around, but he was showing up in the beginning.
Yeah, Harry and I were first introduced through a mutual friend here in Manteca. He told Harry, "Oh, I know this martial artist. He just moved to town. You guys should get together." And we ended up meeting here at Starbucks, and then talk for hours, and end up going back to my place where I have my school in my garage, and talk for hours. And turns out we just knew so many of the same people, and the three of us just started getting together on a weekly basis. And next thing you know, other people, kind of wanted to invite themselves, or we'd invite other people, and other people wanted to join us. And then someone suggested that, why don't we name it, since it's a group. So
Didn't Yvonne come up with a name?
Yvonne came up with Coffee with the Masters. So we started a Facebook page and just started inviting people from there, and it just started growing and growing, and it's to where it is right now. We're trying to keep it going.
Yeah, we had a lot of people because we would post the three of us just having coffee, just the three of us, and people would say, "Hey, where you guys at? Hey, can I join you?" And we're like, "Sure, come on out." And then next thing you know, we have people that come from Fresno. We have people that come from Sacramento. We got people that come from the Bay Area. You'll see just today, we just have just the three of us, the original crew, but we have as many as 20 people sometimes here on a day. And it's funny because people are like, I'm not sure if I'm going to show up. I don't know anybody and stuff, but when they show up, they sit down not realizing they know somebody at the table. All of a sudden they'll start telling the story, and somebody says, "Hey, wait a second, I was there, you're talking about such and such." And it's funny how the stories start changing, and you learn information. And again, we talk that it's like Vegas, so when you start telling the story, sometimes you're a little nervous about, you don't want to say the person's name that you're talking about. Halfway through the story, somebody says, "Oh, you're talking about such and such," and somebody else knows that same story. So it's a great time, and it's a great time for sharing. Again, we kind of treat it like Vegas, so a lot of the information that we're shared and stories that are shared here, we try and keep it confidential so that people feel comfortable in sharing.
And people start to, even when there's a lot of people here, they'll break off into their own little groups and start conversing, with one another. And it's really nice. And it's cool that sometimes we have people from even out of the country, international, that are guests of some of the guests that we have here that want to come and join us, or students from other countries that come with their teachers and want to participate in Coffee with the Masters. So it's kind of cool, and they just like all the stories and all the history, and we talk about upcoming events and
Talking about history, Dave is our historian. We refer to him as our historian. He knows a lot of information. So
He's more Chinese than me.
that's what everyone says. Yeah, I must have been in another life, but yeah. Harry goes, "So Dave, when is Chinese New Year?" And I tell him it's such and such a date. He goes, "Are you sure?" And I go, "Harry, come on.